Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I am Matt Sudi. This is the Penguin lover, Mike Klankoff. Yeah. Yeah, boo this man. Yeah, keep his mic off.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear him. We don't want to hear this man.
Now they can hear me.
And we've got the Darkwing himself, Brian Daly, who his Ducks will be in action a little bit later tonight in their first playoff matchup against the Sharks.
Half hour, let's go.
All right, and
go
we got
Ducks.
the broken one himself, Rob Povia, behind the board.
I thought I had myself muted. My apologies, Mike. Yeah, I wasn't doing that on purpose. I swear to God.
Bullshit. It's one game, guys. Come on.
You're in the city of Philadelphia. You're in the Philadelphia area. We are very emotional, in case you haven't figured that one out by now. Do you not understand this?
I do. And believe me, I would be very upset myself. I would.
Well, either way, we are brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com.
They deserve that one.
Yep. So, with that being said, in case you haven't figured it out by now, the Flyers unfortunately took a brutal beating at the hands of the Pittsburgh Penguins, tragically, in Game 1. But as I was feeling doom and gloom as Game 1 continued, I woke up this morning, though, and I took a step back for a quick second, and I said to myself, you know what? It isn't the end of the road. It's not over. You want to know why it's not over? Not only is it because it's one game, and that's obvious, but because look at the way the Flyers were. Flyers, 90% of them are rookies, and most of them were playing in their very first playoff game, and you're only facing the 2 straight-year defending Stanley Cup champions in their first matchup back in the postseason. If that doesn't spell a recipe for disaster, I'm surprised that half the teams that have rookies on them that are young don't have more games like this going into their first postseason matchup. It's amazing that most of them don't.
Brian Wilson chiming in with his little words of Wilson.
Oh, boy.
Eat shit, Clinky.
And die, by the way.
Oh, man.
To finish that Duke Nukem quote.
Yeah, but you gotta realize, yes, there's a lot of young guys on this team, a lot of nerves.
No doubt.
Their first playoffs.
First playoff game in a couple years for the Flyers, too. So
Yeah.
That, and also the fact, too, that the last time the Flyers and the Penguins met, it was 6 years ago. There was maybe 5 players left on the Flyers that were on that team.
Yeah.
We have Giroux, Voracek, to name the obvious ones, and Wayne Simmons, Michael Raffl, and Matt Reed. I went all the way down the roster. Those are the only 5 people left that were on that team during that series.
All right, Wilson. And Wilson's going a little too far now.
Yeah,
What's he
that
saying
was a
now?
little. He
I
said,
hope Crosby gets cancer and dies on Christmas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
that's
what?
a little.
No,
Yeah.
that's not far.
Cancer runs in Pittsburgh with Mario Lemieux. I don't know if we want to go that far.
No. Listen. There was always respect with Lemieux, and it's a good thing that he didn't die. With Crosby, I don't know if I'd shed a tear, to be completely honest with you. I really don't think I would. Not one damn bit, to be honest with you.
Shout out to Ben Clark saying Ducks on Facebook Live. Keep the comments coming in. Ben, we got Game 1.
So with that being said, also David Roska chiming in as well. Our Anaheim Ducks will win tonight. And he also says Anaheim Ducks will win tonight. Ducks.
That's right, Dave. Let's go.
Dave.
Is it 10:30 yet?
No,
getting
not
close.
yet. It's
We're getting
10:05. You're
Ah,
getting there. You're
25
getting there.
minutes.
Relax. It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
Let's go.
But, Dave, I'm just saying, man, you should put quack, quack, quack at the end of that just to keep the Mighty Ducks theme going on, you know? That's what you should do.
I'll take either or.
Come on, man.
I'll take either or. I'm just saying.
Prior to our game last night, I don't know if you end up staying up to even want to watch any more hockey, but did you check out
Oh, no, I did watch the Knights and the Kings.
in
Hey,
the Knights
listen.
game?
Listen,
They
just
were fucking loud.
That was a crazy show. They put on a great show. Of course, it's Vegas. And not only that, too, the team came out, man, and they responded the way they needed to. They set the tone early, and they got a deflection goal past Johnny Quick, and they did not look back. And to the Kings,
Finished to a 1-0 game.
Well,
which-
game 2, the Kings will be without Drew Doughty as he will serve a 1-game suspension for his hit.
Yeah, I
that was
I didn't see the hit.
No, I did. It was bad.
I watched the
It
first
wasn't a
period,
nice
went to
hit.
bed.
And you know what? The Kings have been known for them. This isn't the first time that the Kings have gotten in trouble with this. I mean, Dustin Brown, I believe, didn't need a knee on the Phoenix
Couple
captain a couple years back when they won their first cup. And funny enough, they actually penalized, of all things,
Did he really just get away with that hook there?
yeah, we're also watching the Colorado Avalanche and
Columbus
Nashville
just tied it
Predators
up.
game. Columbus did just tie up Washington, so that game's gonna go to OT. Oh boy,
Am I the only one that thinks that game is completely, or that series is just irrelevant?
what between
Columbus and Washington? Like, that's the only one that I'm not rooting for somebody.
Well, I mean, I'm really not rooting for anybody either. I mean, but the thing
I
is,
don't-
though,
yeah.
is that I would like to see an exciting series of that in the first round. That'd be interesting to see because you know.
That's going to end up being the best series in the
It
first.
probably
might
will
be.
Yeah,
You
watch,
know?
watch
It might
it being
be.
the most exciting one. Now, I will say this, though. After that Los Angeles-Las Vegas game, I am not 100% sold on Las Vegas winning this series. Only because, yes, they did win 1-0, but let's pull this back and let's define 1-0. They got a deflection goal past Johnny Quick. Yes, Drew Doughty's not going to be there. But at the same time, though, if, say, they got the deflection goal past Fleury, we're looking at a 1-0 Kings series. So I'm sticking to my guns. I think the Kings might still be able to pull this one out. Again, it's one game, but I am going to say that the Kings did show a good force though in game one, which they could have gotten pounded in.
I honestly don't think that Drew Doughty's going to make a difference in this series. Kings have been, or not the Kings, the Knights have been rolling on all cylinders all season long. They're the best expansion team ever.
In almost any
So,
sport.
and you know
ever.
they that ruckus crowd that they have in Las Vegas, that's going to be a tough place to
Bro,
play.
it was
this
loud.
playoffs.
Now, besides
Crazy.
that, to address the situation, the obvious elephant in the room, the 7-0 loss that the Flyers took. Again, not only were they a young team, that and also the fact that Brian Elliott, he was only playing in his third game back from an injury. And he missed 25 games, which is not good for somebody to come back and only have two
right
games.
into a playoff game.
Right into a playoff series
And
with the defending Stanley Cup champs.
No,
and a defense that's been a problem all year with inconsistency.
I get it, but at the same time, he's your starting goaltender. You signed him to come in and be your number one.
He is,
regardless if he missed
Yeah.
25 games and only played 3.
But
You
here's-
want him to be your goalie game 1, regardless of what happens.
But that's the
it's
thing,
only
though.
one
look
game.
But look at
Here-
Washington with Grubauer.
Yeah.
I mean, you go with
play-
your hot glove.
You go with the hot hand,
yeah.
and Mrazek would have been the hot hand because really when they brought in Mrazek only gave up 2 goals. That was only because, quite frankly, the Flyers' defense was just not giving a shit by that point because they realized, well, we're done in this game. They were pretty much focusing on game 2 by that time because they realized, okay, game 1's lost. We got to focus on game 2. Mrazek did fine though for the most part.
Yeah, he did.
So I would put Mrazek in starter in game 2.
If I'm the
after
Flyers
that.
coach,
I wouldn't.
I would.
No.
I would.
I would not. No,
I would
absolutely not.
No,
No.
you have to put Mrazek in.
You got to show confidence in your number 1 goaltender, regardless of the result of the first game. He's your
I
number 1. I
understand
get
it.
Mrazek is a hot
yeah.
goalie. I get it, but you brought Brian Elliott in to be your number 1
Yeah,
for
but-
this situation.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
but
the
did-
playoffs.
but do you
because
want-
he's an experienced goaltender.
He is an experienced goalie, but do you want to risk going down 2-0 in the series, especially if he can't handle a decent shot?
But I also feel
you
like
know, that's
I feel
the
like
Yeah,
worst
but how
one
much
I
of that
have.
was the defense leaving him
No,
hanging
no,
dry?
no, and I'm not saying that it's Elliott's fault. I'm saying that at the same time, you get scored on 5 times. As a coach, you're going to have to kind of debate with that. It's like, I don't know. Maybe play with a safe and go with Mrazek. And That would be my opinion because 5 goals get scored on Elliott. It's not that you don't have confidence in Elliott. It's just that let him sit down. Let him get a breather for a second because he got 5 goals scored
That could be a
on him.
jolt
Yeah,
to
but he
your
also
team,
just had
too.
a 25-game break,
Which is why he shouldn't have started.
which is why I think he should start. You get him back in there. You get him back in the
coming
motion.
back from an injury like that, though.
It was a bad injury.
He's only played 3 games since.
Then that's the bad side
Let
of
him
this.
play.
But that's
Yeah.
what I was saying before. Like you
It's the
go-
playoffs. Don't hold back.
No, yeah, but that's why you have to go with Mrazek if he's the
Yeah.
hot hand because you want to win the game. You don't want to.
I get
you
it.
know.
I get
That's
it. I'm
kind
with
of the
you.
idea.
I'm with you.
Hey, Chromiak doing a run through. Chrome himself of lazy booking, which you can catch
Yeah.
before this show at all
Deuces.
times. Fresh off of a WrestleMania week that he had. The stories he was telling, folks. Listen to Lazy Booking after this show if you haven't.
They are
and-
not
and you will
PG.
enjoy
No, I'm
it.
kidding.
No, they're not PG. Especially his Flair story. With that being said,
Sorry.
and Dave Roska chiming in, Maple Leafs got killed. They did. They absolutely got
They got
crushed
smoked.
by the Boston Bruins, man. The Bruins, they are running right now. Now, here's the thing, though. And actually, Mike Mataraki, who was also on the show, Lazy Booking, he, too, brought up a very good point, though, about the Pens. They might have blew their load a little early. And no,
And that's possible.
He's
Yeah.
right. He's absolutely right. When you put a 7 spot on a team, you may only see 2, 3 goals, tops, going down the line for the rest of
yeah.
this series. That's not a good thing.
What a beautiful
because-
goal by
oh,
Seth
wow.
Jones.
Great goal by Seth Jones to tie the game up. Wow. Oh, man. Now, don't get me wrong.
Cash
Nashville,
fans should be nervous.
Yeah.
if I'm saying this right now, though, if I was Nashville, even though I am leading, I
Here we
would
go,
kind
here
of
we go,
love to
here
have
we
kept
go.
him. Oh, shot from Nashville, save made that time. Now, here's the thing, though, about Colorado. Colorado is leading 1-0 currently right now, and that's the thing. I will say this right now. What they said about the sweeps possibly being for Colorado, I think that's a load of horse shit. No, Colorado's not getting swept. Yes, they may not beat Nashville, but give them a little bit of something. This is still a really good team right here. Don't immediately say sweep. And then people were saying Minnesota's going to get swept. I'm like, no, Minnesota's not going to get swept either because Minnesota has the capabilities. They actually had a very competitive game with Winnipeg yesterday, and it was only at the dying minutes of the third period did Winnipeg pull a comeback and manage to get the goal to win the game.
I don't think any team is getting swept, but I think if any series could potentially wind up a sweep, it's going to be Winnipeg and Minnesota. It's just Bruce Boudreau. I don't think their offense is as good.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Who's their goalie? Why am I blanking on their goalie's
Dubnyk?
name? Yeah,
Dubnyk, yeah.
Devin Dubnyk.
Which,
he
by the
hasn't
way,
been nearly as good.
Well,
as a playoff coach, just as sorry. You know?
by the way,
Yeah.
though, the crowd was just all over Dubnyk's ass. They were chanting
Oh, my God, they
Dubnyk
were loud,
the
too.
entire time. The
Great.
whole arena was doing it. It was like, oh, my God.
The arena was shaking.
You never want to face Winnipeg in a playoff series. That was not a nice – oh, my God. That had to have been called. Ekholm just literally hurled – who did he hurl to the ice? I couldn't even see his name.
I don't know who
It
that
looked
is.
like a long name.
Number 10 on the Colorado Avalanche.
interference,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Ekholm got
I
called
mean,
for
it just
interference.
basically
I didn't
grabbed
blame
him,
at
threw him
all.
down onto the ground there.
No, I don't blame him at all. Ekholm, that was dirty. That was dirty.
Lots of comments coming in here. We got Brian Wilson chiming in. When we're playing in the playoffs, nothing is too far.
No, that is true. Nothing is too far. We are playing in the playoffs against Pittsburgh, so you got to see it coming, Mike. Just saying.
Our
Just
own
gotta see
Rob
it coming.
Povia chiming in with, they have to eliminate the turnovers at their own blue line in order to
Yeah.
win Game 2. Unfortunately, a lot of holes in the Flyers' gameplay right now, and it's into the Pens' hands. This team has to be resilient all year, and they should stop. And they shouldn't stop now.
No, here's the thing, though, and before we – sorry to interrupt you there. Here's the one thing. That first period, it was very even. It was a very even play from both teams. It wasn't one-sided. It got one-sided. And the reason why it got one-sided was 2 reasons. Yes, the turnover, but that one goal they gave up when they turned it over to Carl Hagelin and he scored
That was
the goal.
the second goal.
The second goal, that was enough to rattle them. And then they started making mistakes. And then they started making errors in judgment in their own zone, and they couldn't get the puck out.
Yeah.
And the Penguins started getting more aggressive because they started smelling blood in the water like a team would.
Yeah.
That is not something to say that's going to be par for the course. That's just like,
Should
listen,
have ripped the one time.
He should have.
when when you have mistakes like that and you let them bother you and you let them get to you, you can't let a team intimidate you. You can't let a team rattle you.
No, you can't allow that to happen. No.
That was why I was so concerned facing the Penguins in the first place, because here's the issue. You didn't beat them during the regular season. Yes, we can say all the time it doesn't matter.
It doesn't,
but the same thing, though, is that it does kind of produce a bit of culture and a bit of a complex. I'm like, we haven't beaten these guys at all. You worry that may creep in a little bit, that little self-doubt might creep in. That's just like, we haven't beaten these guys all year.
Well, that should be extra motivation.
It should be extra motivation, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
As much as it could be a motivator, it could be a demoralizer.
True.
And
like, we're never gonna beat these guys.
That's unfortunately.
But I don't think that's the way they're gonna think, though.
No.
The whole game plan is gonna be different. Obviously, they're gonna learn from their mistakes from this game. It was just bad offensively for them, bad defensively. I mean, like you were saying, they could not clear. From what I saw when I got home to actually watch it on TV, what I saw, even in the later part of the game, they were not clearing the pucks out of the zone. They were turning it over consistently in the defensive end, which was going to lead to a lot of chances for the Penguins. Which
this is a good opportunity for
5-on-3.
Colorado.
Wow,
it's
have
5-on-3 now.
5-on-3 for the Colorado Avalanche right now.
So
penalty called on
that's
that.
a board.
Oh my God! What was
Cross-check.
a cross-check?
Yeah.
Clear
What do they
as
call him,
day.
Borden?
You could have been blind and made that call.
Either or, it's
Like,
going to be a cross-check or a board.
I don't know what is up Nashville's ass right now that they're taking bad penalties. This is just
I don't know, but
stupid
if
on their
Colorado
part.
wants to beat them, this is their opportunity.
Yeah, this is, man. Whew, that's.
By the way, for people who are just joining us, we are watching the Colorado-Nashville game.
Yes, we
in
are.
studio right now.
We
so.
are, yeah. And right now, 5-on-3 opportunity for only 9 seconds. But, Colorado's dangerous enough. They can make this happen.
They should got to get a shot
good
quick.
God.
Virtanen should have stayed at the
cross-check.
point.
Yeah, Watson is in the box for cross-checking currently right now. That's just
Now
bad
it's
play.
5-on-4.
All right, now it's
They got one back.
5-on-4. But still, though, bad playing from Nashville right now, just, taking bad penalties. I think they're getting frustrated, to be honest with you, because they're not scoring down the other end.
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, it's just like this is a young team that's leading them right now. They're probably thinking to themselves, why the fuck is Colorado beating us 1-0 right now? But that's the thing, though. You can't – this is the risk that you run as a top seed, especially if you're number one overall.
Especially a President Trophy winner.
Just like you cannot let this team get in your head and say, like, we should be beating these guys. Why the fuck are they beating us? Because if you do that, it's showing overconfidence and stupidity on Nashville's
No, you never underestimate, especially, I mean, they are an 8th seed, but
now,
that doesn't mean shit in the playoffs.
That gears back to what we were talking about now. It's their job not to get overconfident.
No,
going
in which
into
they
game
shouldn't
2.
be. They shouldn't be. And that's the whole thing that I've been, everybody keeps talking, like, to me, like I said before, as I've been saying, is that, the series is over. I'm like, no, it's one game.
Oh, McKinnon had a great shot.
Scored. Oh,
But
what a great save by Rene.
There's still a possibility at 6 more games. You can't let the one win get to your head. And that's what the Penguins need to do. They need to keep their head straight and just don't look side to side and see everybody, we got this. Like, that's not the way you need to look. You can't look that way. Look straight to game 2, Friday night, 7 o'clock. Another game in Pittsburgh. They have, for me anyway, they have to get the win in Pittsburgh to feel a little bit better, but not good enough. Not until they have a 4 in the series,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, never mind.
Absolutely.
Wow.
By the way,
That rebound was like blade of the skate.
Yeah. By the way, VHS Queen. Period's over. I thought Rene was leaving the ice for what the hell?
God.
What did?
Kadri must have did something.
Suspension for Nazem Kadri coming up. Ooh.
I mean, nothing new to his career.
No, he's been known for it.
Yeah.
VHS Queen.
No, I don't think there's going to be suspension coming for that. I saw the play. So I want to jump to a couple more comments here on Facebook.
Oh, hold on. We got a couple on YouTube, then we'll get to that on Facebook.
All right.
VHS Queen, and she's right. Couturier was also on the 2012 team, too. Yes, you are correct. There's 6 players on the team that were left. Okay. And Chuck's Marinin.
Love that name.
As always,
by the way.
chiming in.
VHS.
Yeah. He says, yo, gentlemen, well, the Flyers' performance was embarrassing. It was. They're not the better team, but they got to be better than that. Drew,
To say the least,
who's
Chuck.
been invisible in the playoffs since 2012, needs to step up. And I expect the Flyers to play much better in Game 2, but I don't think they'll be able to pull off the win. I have their first, win coming at home in Game 3. I mean, is it possible that they may have to wait to get to home to get a win? Yes, that's a very high possibility right now, only because the Penguins are very good at home. They've been able to defend home turf very well.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as it was in 2012 when we actually ran the Consol Energy Center. But
True. It's been kind of opposite.
Yeah, it's a
this
different
season,
story
obviously,
now.
everything's for us.
But and then he also did say, yeah, it was embarrassing, but you know what? We got to put it behind us. We got to have instant amnesia, and we got to say, you know what? That was the worst game the Flyers have ever played. We got to look at it as like, hey, it can only go up from here. Because, yes, that is the worst game they have played all season long, and that includes the regular season. That's the worst game they've played.
Please, God, please.
So it can only go up. Say, you relax. Game one.
Aaron Rodgers over here.
Yeah. You have to. You have to.
No, you have to, though, as a fan.
And
you
at
know,
the same
like
time,
I said, and, I don't want to bring it up because it did happen in the last series that we played each other in 2012, was that the Penguins won 10-3 in one of the games. And who won the series?
yeah, but that was a series that was so weird.
It was a bloodbath. I mean, that was a hell of a
That was a
series.
violent series. And that series, though, here's the thing. Actually, it was the opposite. The Flyers owned the series because the Flyers had won all but one game in the Battle of Pennsylvania, and the only game that was won was the last game of the year. And it really didn't matter because then the teams were different. The Penguins don't have guys like Pascal Dupuis anymore. Chris Kunitz isn't on the team anymore. Those are just a couple of guys that come off the top of my head because Dupuis would always score in the Flyers. And so would Kunitz.
I love Duper.
And also Fleury's not the starting goalie. So that's one thing. On top of that, the Flyers are not the same team that they were either. They're actually much younger than they were than in 2012. And that's hard to believe because they were still pretty young in 2012 as well, but they're even younger now than they were in 2012.
You know what the secret recipe is for the Penguins? Brian Rust is healthy.
Yeah, Brian Rust.
Rust,
oh my God,
over the past couple of years has been our best playoff player.
He's one of those guys, man. He's one of those guys who's the clutch player, the guy who comes in and who makes things happen in the playoffs when you need to.
Yeah, started it off in game one there.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Boston and Toronto, Boston apparently, it was a tied second period going in, but Boston just started to unload on Toronto, and badly. Oh, man, Freddie did not
Freddie Anderson looked terrible tonight. He got beat there. He got beat by a couple other people. But let's get to some of these comments because they're really starting to roll in here. You got Steve Krasowski chiming in saying, hey, guys. Steve, what's up, man? Glad you're joining us once again. Rob Povia chiming in again. Avoid penalties at all costs. Pens are 32+% on the power play. Flyers were 28th in penalty kill this season.
That was a franchise record, too, right?
For Pittsburgh?
Yeah, for Pittsburgh.
I know
think so.
it's pretty damn high up there. I know they were number one. They led in home games and away games on the power play. I mean, penalty kill is not their strongest point this season. I think they finished 14th or 13th this season.
14th.
Yeah, I thought before I left for the studio that I had heard that from the national broadcast that was the franchise record, even over such power plays blessed by Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually 32. I mean, that seems a little high,
right?
But
I'll look it up for sure.
look it up for sure. I don't know if it was 32. I think it was somewhere in the area of like 27 or 28, which is still pretty fucking high. I mean, that's just over a 1 in 4 chance, which they went last night in the game. They went 1 in 4 on the power play. But that's going to be a thing for the Flyers. And, as Rob's saying, they ranked 28th in the league on the penalty kill.
Which
they have to stay disciplined against the Penguins.
And that was another thing that killed them too, was they took bad penalties. Like it's just
at crucial times.
At crucial times,
Yeah.
Michael Raffl took a penalty in the second period, and when he took that penalty, it was an undisciplined play. It was stupid to do, and he goes in the box, and what did the Penguins do? They made the Flyers pay for it. They scored, and that started the floodgates again, and then they just reopened because they had played well at the start of the second, and they were getting shots down on Murray.
Why does everybody hate me?
Again.
Look at the jersey you're wearing. That's why.
I wore it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
get on
you didn't win game one. It's 7-0.
It's one game. Leave me alone.
But it was a touchdown.
It was
a touchdown.
Dude, if
Which
they
is
needed
like
Carson Wentz, like Tommy
that's like
said
a
last night.
49-0 victory in football, right there.
Yeah, that's the fact that it's just you cannot play a game where you're undisciplined.
No,
and
you can't.
And that's the
especially
issue.
not in playoffs.
And here's the problem: is the Flyers, and here's the sad part of it: the penalties being taken. I mean, one for Konechny. All right, he's young, but Raffl has no excuse. Like, you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Don't be making stupid mistakes like that and getting your ass thrown in the box at a crucial time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what
agree.
you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to be leading these young guys, saying, hey, listen, we're down 3-0, but don't worry, we can come back. Because the Flyers have come
But you
back
know
from
what,
3-0 on multiple occasions. It's just that one mistake. And the Penguins are showing you why they can pounce on your mistakes, and they absolutely did.
Rob, what do you got on those stats before I go into?
I did overestimate it. It was 26.2% on
Okay.
the season, which was number 1 in the NHL and was a franchise record.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
still pretty
Yeah,
potent.
I actually didn't know that was a franchise
So,
record. I do
One
know it
quick
was up
question I had for you before we
Oh
moved off the
my
power
God.
play thing is, one thing I noticed, did they play as much Crosby with Malkin during the regular season as much as we saw in Game 1, or was that a change for the playoffs?
there. In the power play or
I
just
think
overall?
in general, I saw it in even strength that I
Yeah.
saw it on the power play. I got to
Yeah.
figure they're both on the number
They're-
1 line.
they're, the first power play is either between Schultz and Letang with Kessel, Malkin, Crosby, and I'll throw Hornquist.
So,
Hornquist in front of the net.
next up on the comments.
All right, we got Ralphie D chiming in. Ralphie Del Vecchio. I'm sure this is probably sarcasm on his part, saying Brian Elliott is elite. Patricia Orsini. Sadly, I doubt it. Referring to our poll question, will the Philadelphia Flyers win Game 2? Steve Kozowski chiming in. Unfortunately, I think the Pens win Game 2. If the Flyers win Game 1 in Philly, Pens take the series 4-1. And Bill Ledig, you write the hot goalie in the playoffs. I mean, usually I agree with that, but Brian Elliott's been the solid goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers all season
Well,
long.
Mrazek's been solid, too. Oh,
I saw that. I saw
God.
that.
Terry Atchison, I hope I said your name right, Terry. No, referring to our poll question. Steve Krasowski to a comment we made earlier about Winnipeg and Minnesota. Winnipeg is way too good for Minnesota. I agree with the sweep. I also think Colorado could get swept as well. My boy Timothy Stow, chiming in all the way out there in Anaheim, California.
Yeah.
Almost time to paint it orange. I think it is about that time. Oh, we're about 10 minutes out. By the way,
Yeah.
1-0 Avs over Preds.
That's what we
we-
got on.
We actually have the game on in the
Yes.
studio here, Tim.
I love it. I love this.
Comes back with Let's Go Ducks. Danny Danko, Let's Go Preds. And then Tim and Dan go back and forth. Boo, Preds suck from Tim. Danny with hashtag Smashville. Is he really a Predators fan?
He doesn't know what he is.
Oh,
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
it sounds personal.
He was rooting for the Flyers last night, and then the Predators are on tonight. So I don't know.
So he has no team, basically.
Whoever's winning, I mean, I wouldn't be
Bandwagon.
surprised
All right,
if
all right,
by
all
the
right,
end of the,
bandwagon. All right,
end
all
of
right.
the second
We go
period, he's
move
an
on.
Avs fan.
All right, all right, all right.
Brett Moore chiming in. Yes, referring to our poll question. Will the Philadelphia Flyers win Game 2?
Love you, Danny.
He actually goes on. I think he says something about a trash team with the President's Trophy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with Tim's comment here. You can take the President's Trophy all you want, but
Shove
it's
it right up
it's
the
a joke.
ass.
It's
No,
a joke.
It doesn't matter.
Jeremy Brinkley, Pens need just to keep the momentum up. Let Philly throw their weight around. Don't let them get in your heads. The defense was stellar, blocking shots, keeping Murray clean. Let's go Pens. Oh, please, God, let Colorado beat Asheville. I like that name. And then Danny chiming back with, you never, something. Tim's, we'll see him down 1-0 right now after Danny come back with 1 period. Timothy Stow, never know. Kings lost 1-0. Christopher Lyons chiming in, what the F, LOL. Chris, what's up? Oh, that's just not nice.
What?
Chris says, what up, Matt, Brian, Crumb.
That's what I was saying. Why does everybody hate me?
Danny's going on to say, I have the Knights winning that series. So, and Brian Attard wants to know, what do you guys feel was more damaging departure for the Flyers, Lavi or Bob?
Actually, I would take option C and say both. Because
A or B?
well,
Lavi, in my opinion.
I would say Lavi. No offense to Bob, because if Bob was in net, he still would have gotten scored on. Maybe not 7 times, but he definitely would have gotten scored on maybe 4 or 5, because the defense just did not play well in front of him at all. Yeah, but Bob's great, but you can't steal a game like that.
I
It's
love
almost
this.
impossible.
Live
and OT
looking
live
right
and looking right now.
Oh, overtime? I can't watch.
Oh, why?
You guys can watch. I'll continue on with the
Go ahead,
comments.
please.
Oh my
please.
God! Oh, hold on. But before you continue, we do have some coming up in here on the YouTube, and Right now we've got
Smooth walking.
we got VHS Queen chiming in saying, "Lol, love you too. Just not that Pens jersey. You should see
Ooh.
my collection," as referencing to the VHS. And Evan
I would
Tyler.
love to, actually.
Lion King?
Evan, and Evan Tyler.
I have the Lion King. Why
jumping
not?
in. Evan Tyler jumping in. Who do you think should start game 2 for the Flyers? I say Mrazek. I think
Elliott.
you're saying Mrazek, and he's saying Elliott.
I mean, I'm cool with Elliott. I don't.
There's a comment on there that I completely agree with.
And Chuck's Marinin chiming in. I'd still start Elliott. Over the course of the season, he's proven to be the most solid out of the group. I'd give him the chance to bounce back. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, though, Mrazek
You lose game 2, then yes, change out your goalie. But you give
By then-
Elliott the chance to bounce back.
See, I don't like that, though, because it's 2-0 then. It's just like it's bad enough as it is that you went down as bad as you did. Now you're going back home. You got 2-0. Yeah, you can try and tie it up, but I don't know. I would feel more safe with trying to get that win and even that series out going back home.
Bring
I
back
mean, I
Alex
understand
Lyon.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Why not? Why not?
All right, moving on. SJM 86. That game was as deflating as Lesnar versus Reigns. Oh, for those who watched WrestleMania. God, people are just shitting all over that match. Anyway, Evan Tyler again. Yeah, I agree. He is the most solid goaltender we have available at the moment. So he's saying Elliott. And SJM 86 again. It's Elliott or bust. Maybe the Flyers rip off 2 straight. I need a silver lining. This team has been Jekyll and Hyde all year. Well, that's true. They have been. Absolutely have
Absolutely.
been. But that's what's going to happen, though, when you have a team that's this young. Most of them are in their first playoff. And you're facing the defending Stanley Cup champions who have
It's not
just
gonna
been
be easy.
been buzzsawing teams. I mean, let's look at it this way. Mike Sullivan, it's his 3rd year as coach. He hasn't lost a playoff series in 3 years.
Here's the thing, too.
Okay.
Matt
That
Murray
team hasn't lost a playoff series in 3 years.
Matt
That's
Murray
not
hasn't let in a
easy.
goal in
All streaks
206
come to an
minutes.
No. All streaks come to an end, but I'm saying you got a tough mountain to scale here. So that's the thing. Like that, you're going to get a Jekyll and Hyde team. You're going to face a game like this. You didn't want it to be as bad as it was. But you know what? Like I said, the best thing for them to look at is say, you know what? It was the worst game we played all year. It can only go up. It can only go up. It was the worst game we played all year.
Yeah.
We can only do better from now on. And that's good enough. You'd rather have them get crushed in game 1 than have them get crushed in either game 3 or game 4 if
Or
they
game
already
7.
or game 7, because then that would just be terrible to see. But anyway. So, any more comments on?
Oh, yeah, we got
been a
lots
lot.
coming in.
Good. Let's keep it going.
We got Danny Danko chiming in. Here's the issue, and this is I kind of agree with Danny, but I'm going to rebuttal this real quick. They don't have a goalie. In the playoffs, you need a hot goalie going into the playoffs. I agree. But at the same time, the Flyers made the Stanley Cup final and took it to game,
Yeah.
6?
Michael
With
Layton.
Michael goddamn Layton.
If Layton can do it, anybody can do it.
The defense just needs to play better in front.
Yeah.
That was their downfall
way-
most of the season.
Penguins' 4th string goalie. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I can't believe somebody still has him.
I don't even know if that's really something you should boast. Like, seriously, to be honest with you.
Matthew
Just
McGowan.
saying.
Matthew McGowan chiming in. Face it. Pittsburgh decided to play for the first time in weeks. Flyers have been busting ass all year. The difference is now we're trying. I'm assuming as in Penguins.
Yeah.
Kira Latoza. I hope I got your name right. Although being the tough guys in the NHL might be fine in the regular season, but doing that during the playoffs won't always get you somewhere, especially against the Penguins, who has experience. Pens win game 2 for. Oh, excuse me.
Piggy.
Wow. Pens win 4-1. I apologize. Wow. That kind of snuck up out of nowhere. Tommy Blake, Penguin for life. That's a shame. You may want to reconsider.
5. 5 cups.
Tom Arnaud chiming in. Flyers in 7. Let's go. Randy Cars, Penguins in 5. Tommy coming back with my dogs, best in business. I agree with the best in business, but your dogs are up there with you, Tommy. Barbara Avery is watching. Tom chiming in. Who do you want in goal for the Flyers, Mike?
I mean, if Elliott's going to play like he did game 1, of course I'm going to take Elliott. But I don't know. That's a tough question, to be honest. I mean, the way Mrazek came in for the period and a half, he only let up 2 goals, and that was towards the end of the game where Flyers team already had their head down, tail tucked between their legs, just already quit, and that was only 2 goals. So I'd rather run against Elliott, who let in 5 goals on 19 shots, than Mrazek, who let in 2 goals in, second half
I
of the
feel
game.
you.
So
I feel you.
we'll see. I mean, obviously, based purely on game 1 and the period and a half that we saw of Elliott, of course I'm going to take that.
Here's the
But what defense do I want? I want the defense that I saw last night too.
Well, here's
yeah, I mean
that's
I
what
think
it
that's
comes
more
down
important.
to.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
That's
though.
what it comes
here's
down
the thing.
to. It's not so much
I
goalie,
don't
it's
think we
defense.
will
Yeah.
because here's the thing. This is the moment where we find out what kind of coach we got in Dave Haxtell. We really find out what kind of coach we got in Dave Haxtell. We also find out what kind of captain we have in Claude Giroux. We find out how the veterans are on this team. And they say, you know what? Even though that first game was terrible, it's bullshit. It's one game. This is not who we are. And the Penguins, they're breathing in some false hope right now. And this could come back to bite the Penguins in the ass because they could be smelling themselves after one game. And if they start doing that, and let's be honest, Crosby has an ego. That's about the size of not just Pittsburgh, but probably the entire state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, stop it.
He could easily let it go to his head. Just saying. He could very
he's
easily.
been better.
No, come on. Let's call it what it is.
Really?
He is considered
Really?
the best player in the game.
If you said that 6-7 years ago, I'm with you.
Oh,
Wow,
now?
Columbus just
I'm not
won.
even. Hey, Ovi has one too. Let's just call it what it is.
All right, so real quick, I believe
lot.
Columbus just won in overtime. Getting a couple comments.
Oh, wow.
Danny saying Blue Jackets just won. Matthew McCowan, CBJ and OT. Jeremy Brinkley chiming in Columbus. So, let's back up a little bit. By the way, Danny, we're gonna leave Meek Mills out of this conversation.
Yeah, fuck Meek.
Yeah, seriously, he's in jail for a reason. He's a scumbag. Caitlin Michelle chiming in. Penguins in 6.
That's my girl.
You can do better, Caitlin.
Wow.
Best comment of the night.
Tom chiming in, so we know, so we know who we need to start. And then we got Christopher Enstrike chiming in. Okay, it's one game. Penn shot their load for the series. Elliott will be in goal. We get the split. Listen, I'm all for that comment, 100%.
And if we get the split, then it could be anybody's series if the Flyers
There's
play
no-
well
it's
in Philly.
It's anybody's series now.
No,
it's
no.
one
but
game.
But that's the thing.
That's
though.
what I keep saying. The
If they-
series is
yeah,
not
if
over.
they respond well in game 2 and
I
they
mean-
get the win, and the series goes the way it goes in Philly, if they wind up splitting down the line in both locations, game 6, game 5, it could easily go to a game 7 then.
There's no doubt. I mean, listen, obviously my head's a little bit higher today because we won. But tomorrow it's going to be neutral ground. My head's going to be flat in the TV. I mean, listen, obviously I'm happy, but it's one game. That's all I have to keep saying, and that's all I'm going to keep saying is that
that's all
it's
you need
one
to say.
game.
All right, and go back before we continue on Facebook. We'll jump back into the YouTube. And SJM86, again, chiming in. I'm still holding out hope, rallying the wagon. Ask the Bruins if the Flyers can make a comeback. You never know. This is true. Although we were a little bit more competitive in those games against the Bruins when we went down 3-0.
Yeah,
but still, yeah.
This is a little different of a team for the Flyers. Younger, a little less experienced.
But not
Real
only
quick,
that, yeah.
Real quick, Matthew McCowan. This is the comment of the night. Going back to Christopher's comment about the Penguins basically blowing their load. The load hit you on the face. Flyers got money shot the other night. So, yes. Yes.
But the danger of a money shot in the playoffs when you put up 7 goals is did you go to the well too much?
Well, right. No,
not
agreed.
carry over some of those goals to game 2.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely
See,
agreed.
And again, that's the risk. It's a double-edged sword when you do this.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like, yeah, the Penguins ran the table on the Flyers, but you know what? That could be a double-edged sword. You could have just fueled the Flyers' fire. Just like, okay, you beat us 7-0, but I guarantee you we're going to whip your ass for the next 3 games. You know, like you don't know how that team's going to take that beating. And unfortunately for Penguins fans, the Flyers have been a very resilient team. When they've gotten their ass beat, they return the favor in a not-so-pleasant fashion.
Which they have all season. They would lose 6, win 10, lose 3, win 4. I mean, that's just how they are. When they lose, they come back and smack some teams, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing, too. Also, let's keep this in mind, too. If it gets real bad for the Flyers, I'd be worried about injuries.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say this right now. I wouldn't be too far apart for the course of the Flyers just decide, all right, then, you're going to go to the next round, but you ain't going to have Crosby and you ain't going to have Malkin because we're going to make sure they're not there.
Well,
Or Murray because, we always seem to injure him, which I will give Murray credit. He survived an entire game.
If it's going to be
like Flyers, I will give him that credit.
Let's watch the GWG here.
GWG.
Oh, my God, a beautiful goal.
Panarin.
By Artemi Panarin just putting one right on top shelf.
Left side.
Right by Grobauer to get the win.
Gotta give a special shout out
Woo.
to my boy down under, Damian Price chiming in. Let's go Ducks, Ducks in 5. For those of you who don't know, Damian is a Ducks fan from Sydney, Australia.
I love it.
Chiming in all the way from down under. Love it.
Top
Keep
of
it
the
coming.
morning. Even though that's a whole other country. But.
Oh, and Chuck
I
Smarinin.
would be g'day. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if they even actually say, Damian, do they actually say g'day down there? I'm just curious about that.
All right.
I'm with you on
next
that
up.
one, Ralphie.
So next up,
Just saying.
let's see. Chuck Smarinin chiming in again. By the way, in continuing to count down the days until Carter Hart makes the roster. Hey, I'm down with that. And then,
Whoa!
oh,
That didn't go in.
I don't know
no,
how.
no goal scored by the
I don't know
Avalanche.
how.
There. Oh.
That was a
Next up,
huge-
What a save by Rene.
SJM's 86 again. I'm stoked for Carter Hart too, Chuck's Marinin saying, OT playoff hockey, here we go. It is so much fun watching when it doesn't involve the Flyers.
Yeah.
That is so
It-
true.
it
It
is
is so
true.
it's
Yeah.
heart-wrenching when it's your team.
When
Is
it's
it
your
your heart? It's
team,
just
oh my God. When it's your team,
the whole
you-
time.
oh my God, Nashville just scored on a
they
bad
scored.
angle. Oh man.
Who's in net? Is that Bernier?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
they don't have our Lamov
Johnny
in goal.
B.
Wow. We got a Bernier sighting. All right. It's like a Budai
didn't
sighting
even
from like
notice.
4 years back. I'm like, holy shit, Peter Budai's still in the league.
I knew he was there. I'm just surprised they're starting him.
But anyway, Chuck Sparrow saying, I've only watched
Oh, that's a bad
Minka,
goal.
James Reed,
It's a
and
terrible goal.
Harrison so far when it comes to safeties. And then
Ben
SJM86
Watson.
saying, Evan, I pray that that's the case. And that was just a little football talk right there. Anyway, moving on.
Say football, it's hockey.
Yeah. It's
Playoff hockey at that.
Man. No, that's a sin. We got a playoff hockey going on, guys. Don't talk about football. Football is still so far away.
Randy Carr's chiming in. He brings up a very, very, very true comment here. Pens have scored at least 5 goals in all 5 games against the Flyers this year. That
true.
says a lot.
I didn't even think about that.
That's not good.
No.
Rolling in.
Ralphie D chiming in, letting us know Semyon Varlamov is hurt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ralphie.
Thank
But
you.
going to the comment before that, what Ralphie's saying, guess Caps start Holtby next game, which, I mean, we talk about the hot glove. We saw the hot glove wasn't working. I say you got to play Holtby.
Well, now you do, but the
I don't
thing was-
understand why Holtby's not in to begin with
Well,
unless
here-
he's
Well,
banged
I
up.
mean, yeah, that might be a secret to us, and
Oh,
we don't know.
oh, what a
man,
pass by
beautiful
Mikko.
play
But,
was set up by Colorado. Shame it got broken up by Nashville on their defense.
But that's the thing. I mean, Grubauer finished the season at 7-3. So, I mean, you kind of had to go with the better goaltender at that point. But we saw tonight that, Columbus was just a little bit of a better team and sniped it for the win. So
I mean, that would have been a coin toss anyway. I
Yeah.
think, though, here's the thing. Washington, they failed to close out that game, and that's the lesson they're going to have to learn. Like, all right, we got to be smarter than that because we failed to close out a game. All right, and other comments we got going on in the YouTube real fast before we head to break. Look at my name says, I just stopped by to say, hashtag trust the process, hashtag earn tomorrow. And he's right. Instant amnesia. It's one game. Relax. Colorado just scored.
wow.
It's now 2-1.
Put my head down
Like
for
I
1
said,
second.
trust
Seriously.
the process. Colorado's trusting it all right. They didn't let
Yeah.
one goal shake
Worst
them
team
at
in
all.
the league last year.
Yeah, now they're actually giving Nashville a run for their money here in game 1. All right, so we'll continue with these comments because they're just flooding on in. However, we will have to say
Somebody got away with an elbow
adieu
on,
to
who was that,
Facebook
Subban?
Live.
Beautiful, beautiful
Yeah, I think
wrist
it
shot.
was. It might have been Subban. No,
No.
it wasn't Subban.
No, it was Carl Soderberg who had the goal, but it looked like
no, I think it deflected.
no, was that Como?
I think it was deflection on Como.
Como got away with an elbow on Subban. He kind of came up high on
Yep,
him.
right there. It went up.
Yeah,
It was
deflection
deflected
goal.
Right there, yep.
All right, so that being said, we're going to head to the break. Keep the comments rolling in out there on the YouTube. We love you guys here. Unfortunately, for the guys on Facebook, we're going to have to say adieu. But But
Shift
don't
on
panic.
over to
Don't
the
panic. Yes.
YouTube.
Shift line change. Go on over to YouTube. We'll be dropping that link in the comments. So feel free to join us on YouTube. If you can comment, feel free to comment. If you can't, make a profile and comment, man. We love you guys.
Do it.
That will be on the other side. But first, talk to you guys about Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. They're located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call, 215-369-3300. Guess what, guys? The deadline is next week. So I don't know what the fuck you were doing the entire time,
Shit.
but you should be getting your taxes done right now. And if you need to do them in a hurry, get to Gibson Mayer. Call them, make it happen. Go to Gibson Mayer. This is the Hockey Happy Hour here on A2DRadio.com, and we'll be right back on YouTube right after this, and we hope to see you guys on Facebook. Peace.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I'm Matt Sensui. This is the Darkwing Brian Daly right on over here. This is the, we don't really speak about him, but he is Mikey Plankoff.
Here I am.
And behind the board is the broken one himself, Rob Povia. And right now, the score is still 2-1 Colorado, as they scored literally, we put our heads down for 2 seconds, and Colorado scored a deflection goal on Rene. Not going exactly the way Nashville planned to in Game 1. But anyway.
Could be worse.
We're here brought to you by, could be worse.
Could be 7-0.
Shut
Right,
up.
it could be 5-0 after one
Sports
period.
Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at
just had to
703
throw
Black
it in.
Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email on sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com.
Good thing I got my tire iron available in my car.
There you go.
I might have to get to work.
Yeah.
Third job.
I got a broken golf club if you need it.
I think Mike. I don't know Mike. How fond are you of those kneecaps? Nah. All right,
I don't really
Robbie,
need
you
I
know
don't
what to
need
do.
I don't need
break a
him.
kneecap.
See, people don't know he's the cleaner. That's his other job. But anyway, so with that being said, as we were getting the comments rolling in on both Facebook and YouTube, so hopefully some of you guys who are on Facebook were able to join us here on YouTube. If you are, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to make a profile and comment if you want to. If you can't comment as a guest, feel free to comment as a guest. We love it rolling in. As for the people who are still commenting, feel free to keep it going. And we'll get it kicked back off here with VHS Queen, who said, I will never give up hope on this team. That is exactly the way you have to look at it. And yes.
Preach on, VHS
Which
Queen.
every Flyers fan that talked to me last night did.
Yeah, well, either way, though, it's a emotional moment of weakness, as every sports fan
Series
has.
was over when it was 3-0. I mean, that's what it was. It was 3-0 score. Flyers fans messaging me, "Oh, this series is over. I can't believe it.
Now,
They should have never even been in the playoffs. Why are they here?
They're
This
called
team's-
Oh,
fair
no,
weather
no.
fans.
I wasn't going that far. No, they
They're
should.
called fair
they
weather
should be in the
fans.
playoffs. Now, here's the thing, though. We wanted to be, and that's another thing too. And it's bad on our part for not being as ready for it as we should have been. We wanted to get into the playoffs, right? We were bitching and moaning about wanting to make the playoffs. We wanted this team to get there.
Now you guys are here.
And
it's
now
like,
we're in.
Maybe we shouldn't.
And now, and now we're here. It's like, well, what the fuck did we think was going to happen? Did we really think that it was going to be easy? Absolutely not. Now, I don't think we were really embracing for impact the way we should have been. But at the same time, though, it's just like, were we really rolling into this thinking that, it was going to be easy? No. Oh, my God, Nashville with a beautiful
Wow.
passing
Wow,
play.
that
On
was,
the power
Again,
play.
I looked
just
at you
tied
real
it up.
quick.
I literally just thought to
I
myself,
feel
I'm
like
like,
I shouldn't
Arm
just.
burner.
I feel like I shouldn't
no.
be looking at the TV the whole time and
Well,
communicating
here's
with
the thing,
you
like,
guys. And then,
I literally thought to myself, I'm like, if Colorado wants a chance to win this game, they have to do well on the special teams. Well,
That is not how you do well on special teams.
no, and that was a bad giveaway.
That was. And then a great passing
Big
play
giveaway.
to find the open
That was
man.
a horrible giveaway.
That and Smith, we're getting the dude.
Oh,
he got
man.
the goal.
No
and a
defense in front
beautiful.
of the
Yeah,
net.
nobody was around Smith. That's a bad breakdown on Colorado's part.
bad.
Oh, man.
horrible.
That looks way too familiar. That's bringing back PTSD right now. But anyway, all right. I'm trying to mentally block that out. This is not water, by the way, folks. Anyway.
But
Yes, it is.
to kind of address what you were saying there real quick, Maddie, I didn't think it'd be easy. This is defending Stanley Cup champions here, but I did expect them to come in a little tired, because they had to battle for where they are this year. They played a lot of hockey over the last 2 years. I did not expect the onslaught and energy that Pittsburgh put out, and I expected this team, being the Flyers, to do a little better. There was a Saturday game against Tampa Bay Lightning towards the end of the season, maybe about a month left to go, where that game was straight out Game 7 playoff hockey. And the Flyers were hanging with the mighty Lightning, were battling for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. So to show that they could do it then, why didn't it show now? Well, all these youngsters, and you made the point that Raffl, it's nerves. Yeah, just to get to the point. I mean, no excuses for Raffl's dumb penalty there or what have you, but the young guys, they're like a deer in headlights right now. Now they got Game 1. They got that little taste. Is it enough? People need whole playoff seasons to get acclimated to it, but hopefully they can, change on the fly.
Well, it's tough for them right now too, considering most of their first playoff games were in Pittsburgh and not in Philly. So they have the opposite energy going towards them right now. Obviously, things are going to change once they get back
once
to
that
Philly.
Once that first goal was scored for Pittsburgh, it was game over. It was.
They're like, damn, this is what it's going to be like. I mean, it's just.
Because that place gets
energy,
electric.
It does. It does. It's not as loud as some other stadiums, but it does get loud in
But
there.
that's the thing, though. Here's what the Flyers really need to do. And even if they lose Game 2, you have to remember, and this is also up to the Philadelphia faithful, make the Flyers proud to still be wearing their jersey. Even if you lose Game 2, you go back home, you have a chance to still turn this series
it's a whole
fuck around.
Listen,
You're back at home. Relax. You are in the comfort confines of the Wells Fargo Center. Yes, you're still playing the Penguins. Yes, they still have Sidney Crosby. Yes, they still have Evgeny Malkin. But guess what? They're going to be there next year. They're going to be there the year after that. Guess what? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck that Sidney Crosby's on the Penguins? Who gives a fuck that Malkin's on the Penguins? Guess what? They're still human. They're still players. They can still be beat. The team in 2012 beat them, and at the same time, there are Flyers teams in the past that have beaten them. You guys can do the exact same thing. I think the big issue is that they haven't yet, and I think once they get that first win, especially if they do in Game 2, it'll be all the motivation they need going back home. And when they can get that win in Game 2, split it in Pittsburgh, they can say to themselves, yes, we can beat these guys. We beat them in their own building. We can beat them in our building. They have to believe it. And you know what? If they can do that in Game 2, they don't need to worry about whether they can believe in it or not. Now they can. It is the immediate allowance of that.
Listen, here's the thing. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but even if the Flyers get swept in Game 2, 3, and 4, if they put forth the effort they didn't put back in Game 1, I think most real fans, and I use the term as because there's fair weather fans who already think this series is over.
Yeah.
If they put forth the effort, they lose 4-3, 5-4, 2-1. They put forth that effort and they play well, even if it's a loss. I still think most Flyers fans will respect what they did and how far they've come.
Yeah.
Because they weren't expected to be there this year. I didn't expect them to be there this year. I said at the beginning of the year.
I saw them being
they're a bubble team.
Yeah, exactly.
And they would just miss.
Exactly.
No, they just made it.
Yeah.
So
if they play like that, where they're playing with house money, maybe that alleviates some of the pressure. Maybe they're putting it on themselves.
Yeah, it's possible.
The thing is, too, is that, young team like this, it's one game. And the thing is, too, is that the Penguins, again, I'm going to say this, there's that double-edged sword. We got to address that. As great a game as they played, and they played an almost perfect game, here's the thing. You can get into a false sense of security. And especially considering the fact that you beat this team all year. And I say it again. Yes, you can develop a superiority complex. And if you develop a superiority complex, you can get fucked in the end because you're just like, oh, shit. We probably should have taken them more seriously. No fucking shit, you should have taken them more seriously. Like Nashville should be taking Colorado more seriously right now. Yes, they just tied it up, but Colorado is still pushing the play pretty hard right now.
Yeah, Colorado's buzzing. They're buzzing good.
This series is really going to remind me of the series between the Capitals and the Leafs.
You know what it's actually going to remind me of?
Hmm.
Remember a few years ago when Kings were the 8 seed and they beat the 1 seed? That's what this is starting to remind me of a little bit. For those of you who are interested in the Anaheim and Sharks game, it is 0-0 with 8:37 left to go in the first.
Yes. Oh, don't worry about that. Who cares?
3 shots.
I care.
Relax. I'm just joking.
Yeah, 3 shots aside. We got a TV timeout. I mean,
I just wish I could get the game on my phone. I'd
I
sit here
know.
and prop it up right here and just be like,
So that way
It's a
you
shame
can watch
it's
the
not
game
an
that you're
NBC
interested
game.
in. You know.
yeah. I mean, this has been a good game so far.
Oh my God, that was nasty. That hit was brutal.
You want me to look for it?
Phew.
The
No,
Anaheim
we're
game?
good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thanks, though, Rob. You're the man.
All right, so with
Man's
that
got to watch his
being-
playoff hockey.
Yeah,
Come on now.
man.
I know.
Hey, I'll get to see the third period.
Oh,
I'm happy.
Screw the show. Let's just watch the game now. Anyway. So, yes, with that being said, still more comments coming in here on the YouTube. Other things that came in from SJM86 saying, Preach Queen, saying, yes, he totally 100% agrees, and he does. And he also goes on to say about football, and then Chuck's, I think he made the comment earlier that SJM commented on it, and then we responded, this is hockey, not football. Chuck's response, when someone asks me about football, I can't help myself.
Come on, Chuck. Come on, Chuck.
To be fair, I think his icon is no, it's not hockey. Never mind. I thought it was.
No, it's
It
him
was
with his arms
deceiving.
up in a Brian Westbrook jersey.
All right, never mind. Anyway, but Chuck's does go on to say, my bad. Anyway, so.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, moving on. SJM86 saying, I'm stoked about Hart and the dude Morgan Frost, as we should be, because that is definitely a lot of talent that the Flyers have in the chamber that has not been shot yet.
Yeah, he's going to be a very strong winger, and I got a funny feeling he's making the team out of camp next year.
Oh, if he does, man, that'd be
Put
perfect.
TK and Frost on the same line.
Oh, my God. We
Well-
won't have as many problems.
Well, actually, maybe not. Let's see what they do in free agency before I
Well, we'll
start
see.
making those comments.
Because I mean, if the series continues to be rough for the
Penguins are gonna do
Flyers,
a
then
lot
they're
this
really going to have to
offseason.
look, and they're really going to have
There's
to
no
look
doubt.
long and
I don't wanna
hard.
look
Do you think
forward
their
to it.
window's closing?
Hmm?
You think this is it?
No.
No?
No, not at all.
No. The
So you think the
Penguins'
window's still
windows-
open?
Yeah.
It's still very much open.
I say,
Yeah.
You still build around your core guys for the next couple of years. I mean,
Yes, Anaheim's on the power play.
nice. The one thing that, Jimmy Rutherford has done was give away first-round picks. But it hasn't been the worst thing. I mean, Phil Kessel's one of them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to have a guy, we inked up Hornquist for the next 5 years. We still have Crosby for the next 6 seasons.
Don't
If
even.
not more, whatever
Is
the
it
hell.
still
You
sick?
got him
Oh, my
for,
God.
You got him for life.
got him
Let's just
till,
call it
I
what it is
believe-
until he drops dead.
I believe he'll be 37 when he enters his last season
Oh, Nashville almost scored.
with Pittsburgh. So, I mean, and that's 37, which, I mean, we've seen guys play on teams
He's
still at that age and
Cr-
still perform.
Crosby's a
Oh,
lifer.
yeah,
and
no,
he
absolutely.
always will.
Yeah, Crosby
Listen.
is a lifer. He's not going to hit the twilight of his career
I
until
mean,
he's like well into his
Malkin's
40s.
still linked
probably.
for a couple more years. Like I said, Kessel's still there. You got Hornquist, who's still got a lot of the young guys on rookie contracts like Gensel, Sherry, Rust. Haggy should be still another 2 seasons. So, I mean, you keep building around these guys. We have Murray, who's only his second year technically. And, like I said, you keep building. And what they need to do for the future, like I'm saying now, is keep building around these guys while we still have them.
And what it seems like is he's taking a little bit of a page out of the Anaheim Ducks book, and while the core is still there, he's finding another
Use
core.
them while you have them.
Right,
Because
and he's trying to find out other core he has.
Yeah.
So when that core is done, and let's say before the contract's up, Penguins trade Sidney Crosby
Yeah.
and Evgeny Malkin. You got your core right there. You can slip him right into that spot and keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about taking that step back.
Yeah. Because I can tell you now, after these guys, I mean, you don't know where the future lies. That's why I'm saying use them now. Build around them now. Keep them, obviously keep them, but, just keep building. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm
just
with
build
you.
around them, use them while you got them.
No, I'm
That's
absolutely
it.
with you.
That's
Because
it. It's
like I
all-
said, it's what Anaheim is doing. We got Corey Perry, Ryan
Perry,
Getzlaf.
Yeah.
And, we got Cam Fowler. We got Ryan
Yeah,
Kessler. That's pretty much the original core. But Cam Fowler is still young enough that you can still use him as another building piece for the next core, which we believe is going to be Ricard Raquel and Brandon Montour and maybe Jakob Silverberg.
Yeah.
I mean, if we decide to trade any of those guys in the offseason, we got the guys that can take the place. And we still got Sam Steele that's getting ready to come up. Jacob Larson that's getting ready to come up. We have a couple other young defensemen that are getting ready to come up. So, I mean, BX is a free agent at the end of the year. Francois Beauchemin is probably going to retire at the end of the year. If he hasn't already stated that he's going to retire. It's just, it's a rotation. Successful teams rotate. They don't worry about full rebuilds.
I can't even tell you.
They just retool. And yes, Ralphie D, I agree. San Jose's too slow.
And then SJM86 chiming in, Majid Tomek on the Flyers Euro team could be good too. I have not heard too much about him actually.
Sharks are on the power play.
And then Chuck's chiming in. Frost interests me. He's an intriguing prospect. He definitely is. And hey, you know what? That's the thing too. You guys are talking about the building blocks of your teams. See, we forget. The Flyers are just starting to do this. And that's the truth. They really are starting to catch up to the league because the Flyers, unfortunately, had the old school mentality of building a team.
Agreed.
You stack it up, you bring all of these veterans in, and no one can touch you. And that's the problem. That philosophy was dead by the time the salary cap hit because you can't stack a team anymore when the salary cap happens. Yeah, it's gone with the days where you could sport a team that has Mark Recchi, Jeremy Roenick, and Tony Amonte, and Keith Primo, and that's just naming one era of the Flyers.
Well, let's
as
much as I agree, let's be fair. Most of those guys that they had, like guys like Peter Forsberg, Jason Smith, Tony Amonte, they were at the end of their careers.
Well, yeah, but you get the point. They were making a ton of money.
No, I got your
period.
point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just for the sake of argument is they were all at the end of the careers. It's not like you brought him in at the prime.
Yeah.
Tony Amonte was a Flyer for what 2 years and then he retired.
About that, Jeremy
Jason
Roenick was
Smith,
3.
when he left Philadelphia, he was gone.
Well, he was like the transitional captain pretty much for the most part.
He was, and he was a good defenseman. I actually liked watching him play a lot.
Yeah, and that was the thing though. The Flyers then they got young again when they had Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, and they had Claude Giroux and everything like that.
Which is what they should have built around instead of
but
trading
they
away.
did not build them around them, and that was the biggest mistake made by Paul Holmgren. And then he traded away Sergei Bobrovsky, who was a goalie that would have shored up a lot of problems that we currently
see him
still
now.
have.
Obviously not in this game, but
and he just won an OT game for Columbus, and it's just. And he's got 2 Vezinas, I believe, under his belt.
I forgot.
As well.
I keep forgetting that he played for the Flyers.
That's the sad part. He only played for them for 2 years, and we had Briz to a lengthy contract,
guys
and he chose to go with
But
Briz
at the time, like you also got to think it's experienced Stanley Cup winning goaltender versus just a young goalie prospect.
Let's define Stanley Cup winning goaltender. It was J.S. Jaguar who did the bulk of
Right,
the work.
I agree, but even still, his name's on the cup.
It is, and I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying.
I just like to throw that out there just to remind you guys.
You
that
do, but here's the
Stanley Cup under his belt.
Here's the thing, though. He has a cup on the bench, and then on top of that, when he was the starter in Phoenix, he couldn't get out of the first round. Did they just score?
No, I don't think it went in.
No, they didn't. Oh my God, it stayed. How did it stay in the blue paint? I don't know how Colorado did score, but my God, how is it that Colorado is like, man, they are putting Nashville.
They're a quick team.
They are putting Nashville on the back burner right now. Nashville's having problems.
I think that's McKinnon.
Oh my, oh my God, what a save by
No, you're right. It's
Rene.
Mikko Rantanen.
Oh man, but what a save by Rene.
Ooh.
Again,
just got the toe on it.
Again, he just got the pad out and knocked it away.
Dude, I
if
don't
he
know.
had had just a second more time on that move, he would have scored.
He just had to lift it.
Man.
That was
Yeah, all he
crazy.
had to do was elevate the puck. But Jesus. But
What a
yeah,
save.
but back to what I was
Yeah.
saying. As a team, the Flyers never built around their young guys. They traded them away. And that came back to haunt us because then after the fact, not only did we have a bad goaltending position, we also had bad defense on top of it. Braden Coburn got to the end of his career and he was terrible. Kimmo Timonen couldn't keep up anymore as good as he
Chris
was.
Pronger.
He just couldn't. Pronger got injured. Okay,
Yeah,
now that is
concussion
not
issues, yeah.
Holmgren's fault. No
No,
one could
no,
have
that's
saw
not
that
at all,
coming.
no.
one could have saw that coming.
We also got to
His
like
eye
I'm
almost
not.
fell out. I mean,
Yeah.
As much as I agree with you guys, you're also looking at the mentality of Paul Holmgren, who is I want to win now type goalie.
Yes.
Let's
I
trade our
mean,
prospects for the experience so we can win now versus Ron Hextall, whose whole philosophy is let's build from within.
And he is.
It's going to take a few years, but we're going to build from within, and we're going to be a successful team for years to come.
I mean, let's
and
look
he's
at,
setting it up.
yeah, and look at it this way. Do the Los Angeles Kings, that team don't lie. 2 cups.
No.
no.
2 cups.
They missed the playoffs a couple times, but they're right back in.
Yep, and they're
still competitive.
And let's be honest, even though they lost 1-0 to the Knights, I still say that could be my first round upset. I'm still sticking with it. Yes, it's only one game, but the Knights didn't crush them by any stretch of the imagination. The Kings were right there with them
the
the
goal was
entire
in the
time.
first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, so the Kings were with them the entire time. So I would not say the Knights immediately. Like
Well,
anybody-
now you got to worry about not having Drew Doughty too, and that's your best defenseman.
Yeah, but it's a one game.
That hurts.
It's a 1-game suspension though.
Yeah,
It's not going to kill the team at the end of the day.
no, but it could put him in a 2-0 hole.
It could,
And
but
that's
then
a tough hole to climb out of.
it could be. But remember, this is still the same team. Well, not the same, but still the team that came back 3-0 against the Sharks.
No, I know.
And Johnny Quick was the main anchor of that. So
No, agreed. I agree.
I'm just saying. But anyway, so with that being said, though, that's the major issue of why we have these problems with the Flyers right now and why we're just starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because Paul Holmgren, he kind of fucked this team 3 ways from Sunday. He really did. And when he did, Hexy took over this team and he realized, okay, it's going to take a minute or two, but we're going to have to be patient. And that's all I'm saying is patience. Like we said before, trust the process. Look at the Sixers. How long did it take for the Sixers to get to the postseason? And look at them now.
6 years.
6 years. But you know what? Look at them now. Look at them now.
Yeah.
And
no,
people
I
are
agree.
picking them to be favorites right now. Just saying. It works.
Which they
Give
are.
it time.
I like them.
Give it time.
I like them.
Give it time. It will happen. And the Flyers don't have as long of a wait as the Sixers
No,
did.
it's there.
When the Sixers had to rebuild,
It's on the
they
doorstep.
had
Yeah.
to rebuild. And that's why it took them 6 years.
So
As for here,
Flyers just need to get rid of some of these horrible
well, yeah,
contracts.
but
like
that's
Andrew
going to
McDonald.
happen. That's going to happen. As soon as we get Andy McDonald, we get that son of a bitch out of fucking Philadelphia. You know what? That's where I should have put all my freaking rage.
Andrew McDonald.
Don't. I don't care how nice of a guy. I don't care how nice of a guy he is. I don't care if he's the kind of guy that goes to confessional every fucking Sunday in the goddamn church.
And your second assistant captain, Valtteri Filipula.
All right. Now, that is just a...
I like Val.
I do
Hey,
too,
Val-
but I don't
Val-
think he needs to be your
Hey,
fucking
Val's not.
assistant.
Hey, listen. We're still young. Crying out loud. We have not found the guy who's going to be the
Oh,
secondary
my
captain
God.
yet. For crying out loud. It's a goddamn process. And we can't all get lucky and get fucking Sidney Crosby, lucky motherfucker over here.
I tell you, it
You
was
drew
awesome.
one in a year that there was no goddamn season.
I mean,
And Crosby happened to be the first overall goddamn draft pick. So congratulations, you fucking won at ping pong.
Was
and
he
you got
number
the
one?
goddamn
I thought he
ball.
was number 2. I thought Ovi went number 1. They were in the same draft class because they didn't have the because of the lockout year.
No, I think
Ovi was the year with Malkin. Actually, I think
I
I thought it was
I don't know.
Crosby and
I think-
Ovi in the same draft.
they were different
No, I
drafts.
think it was Crosby. What?
I think they were different drafts, but Ovi didn't play because of the lockout.
What year was that?
Hold on, let's
Or
see.
Crosby got drafted the year before, and then he didn't get to play in the lockout, and then Ovi was drafted
All
in
right, let's
05.
see.
I got it up.
He
Do
was,
you? What is it?
Crosby was drafted number 1 in the 2005 NHL entry draft. And I think it was. I'm going to look up Ovi. I think he was the year before because
Because that was
Crosby.
the lockout.
Right. And
Yeah, I know that.
And Crosby was followed by Bobby Ryan, Jack Johnson, Benoit Pouliot. It was that class.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Ryan. Never should have left Anaheim.
No, it did not pay off for him at all. Whew.
No, he's struggling. Everybody's there's a lot of people that think he's an overrated player now, and I'm just no.
No, he's just in the
He's in a
wrong
bad
system.
system.
I'm going to say Bobby Ryan's just in the wrong spot. Hey, you know what? That's a guy that if he gets a change of scenery, I guarantee you he would do fine. Like, I bet you put him on this Colorado team right now, he's probably scoring like 3 goals. Like, if the
Bring
way that
him
they're
back.
Yeah,
Bring
like
him
seriously,
back.
just saying. The way this Colorado team's playing, you put a guy like Bobby Ryan on there, Christ almighty.
You know what? I'm
yeah,
gonna wear
Obi
my.
was 2004 number 1.
Yeah,
with
so
Malkin.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Malkin. Malkin was second. Okay.
It's true
Yeah,
because you
Briskis.
want to know why? Because Washington
Mother Russia.
Washington hadn't changed their jerseys yet. They hadn't gone back to the red, white, and blue. That was after the lockout. And he played 1 year when they still had the bronze eagle stuff going on.
I
over
did
there.
like those.
I
jerseys.
did. I did. Yeah, I do.
I
like
actually
those.
thought I thought those were kind of neat jerseys. I think they should go back to it. They
If I
made
play
this,
the Capitals
but-
in NHL, that's usually a jersey I put on.
But by the way, though, they made the Stanley Cup Finals in those jerseys. They never made it with the
Yeah,
red,
it was
white, and blue.
98.
So if I'm saying something, I don't think the Caps ever should have changed their jersey color. They may have actually beaten the Penguins at one of these years. Who knows?
No.
Actually, that's funny, too, because you want to know one thing, too? Guess what team the Capitals did not face the year they went to the Stanley Cup Finals? They did not face the Penguins. They actually managed to avoid them
Well,
that
if they
year.
avoid us, I mean, no, I'm kidding.
That's the funniest
you gonna
part
do?
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the funny part. But anyway, yeah, so basically that is the reason why we have the young team that we have. That is why we're going through these growing pains right now. And that's really what this game 1 is. It's a growing pain. No team doesn't go through a growing pain. I mean, it's not like Vancouver where the team was set to win 1 year and fucked up a Stanley Cup final and lost.
4-0.
Yeah, in Game 7 in 2011, and they gave it to those
Tim
fucking
Thomas.
and those that
With the
fucking
shutout.
prick. Oh my god, I hate Tim Thomas. I still hate that son of a bitch to
So
this day.
looks like
Ugh.
Anaheim is going into the first intermission. Nothing.
All right, well, even play. I would.
They're
say.
waiting for me.
7-4 on shots.
They're
with,
waiting. They're
San
waiting to
Jose,
see
right?
their overlord.
I don't have that up.
No. Last I saw 7-4 San Jose on
But
shots.
yeah, but it's been a very competitive game though between both. I mean, Nashville and Colorado, 2 goals apiece going into the third period. Man, this
Yeah,
Colorado
7-4.
team. Whew. I don't know. You
Look,
guys.
you were saying last year that Colorado is. I'm sorry, 8-4 now. That Colorado might not be that team. Firing Patrick Roy was probably a mistake. What's to say to you now?
It helped.
It's just a year to get used to the system. It's a huge adjustment. No, Nathan McKinnon's having one of the best years of his career.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. So
Yeah.
Okay, so the year of adjustment and everything, but at the same time though, they had to get rid of players, and on top of that too, when you change coaches, it can be just as good or it can be bad.
No, I agree.
So the fact of the matter is that it was a risk to begin with. So it's just like, if you have a guy who got you to the playoffs, why would you change the formula? Because it's not like they went up in a spot. They're still one of the wild cards, and they barely got in, by the way. They got in at the very tail end of the season.
Alain Vigneault has gotten to the Rangers to the playoffs a couple times. He
Last
got him to the
game.
Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, and he just got fired.
Right, that's my point.
Talking about the Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last game of the season. They played St. Louis. The winner of that game was taking that spot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Poor
It came down
center.
to them, too.
But my point was, like, this
I
Colorado
don't feel
Avalanche
any
team,
sympathy for him at all.
this team was too talented for them to be at the
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel, and now they're showing that they really are a talented team, and they really shouldn't be, overlooked.
No, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be overlooked. I'm just saying that
I still don't know how that went in.
no, that was just a bad goal to give up. But the point though is that
That was bad, too.
That
when
was
you
horrible.
change your
Sloppy
coach,
defense.
when you change your coach after going to the playoffs 1 year, that's not the smart move. Yes, it paid off for Colorado this time, but it's not like the Flyers when we had to change from Craig Berube to Dave Haxtell because, quite frankly, Craig Berube was a shitty coach. I mean, seriously.
Well, Laviolette made the playoffs for the Flyers the year, and then he got fired after 3 games.
that was a knee-jerk reaction, and it was a stupid move. They hadn't even played the season.
Listen,
I'd
that
laugh.
one I totally
That's-
agree to.
Yeah.
It was another reason that the Flyers
There is
were a
another
laughing
reason.
stock,
Yeah.
But
But
there's bad decisions.
But
Paul
I mean,
Holmgren was not the GM that was going to take this team and make them a winner. It's just as simple as that.
I just don't think Patrick Roy was going to be the team that the coach that makes Colorado a winner. I don't think the coach they have now is going to make them a winner, but they're a much better team. I think they're better than when Patrick Waugh was their head coach.
That's fine. You can have that opinion, but I'm just saying that it's a risk to take, and it could have backfired and bit him in the ass.
Yeah, it could have backfired keeping Waugh, but I'm just saying.
Like-
I like the move.
Oh yeah.
I like the move getting rid of Waugh. He wasn't a player coach. He was too emotional.
Dale Hunter.
There's nothing wrong with an emotional coach.
No.
Lavi's
There's
an
nothing
emotional
wrong.
Coach.
No, there's nothing wrong with an emotional coach at all. But when in your first game of the season, you're going to get up on the boards and start pushing the glass, yelling at another head coach.
But that's the thing, though. Is it really that bad of a thing? Like, honestly, it depends on how your team takes it. If your team gets, like, a boost from your coach saying, fuck you, your team sucks, like, sometimes that boosts a team. Sometimes a team reacts well to that. Look at Columbus. John Tortorella, he's the most emotional bag of bullshit I've ever seen a day in my life. But yet, Columbus is in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, but he's emotional to his players. He doesn't try to attack another coach and push the plexiglass off the
Yes,
bench.
he did. He burned the life of a coach when he was coaching the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, against Calgary. He went to their locker room.
Oh, I remember
and
that.
That was a bad year for
But
Vancouver
that was not.
anyway,
That wasn't on the bench. That was behind the scenes.
It still doesn't matter. It's still an emotional moment where you're doing
the Penguins and Flyers did that in the last series.
And Laffy did it, yeah. And you know what? It boosted the Flyers.
Well,
too,
we
by
already
the
lost
way.
that game in the series. I mean,
but you guys put your checking line out there. That was what
and what was
happened.
wrong with that? Aaron Asham laid down a beautiful hit.
It was a dirty hit, but okay.
Yeah, but nobody, none of those coaches
I should know.
have the
Asham once played for us,
reputation
too.
that Patrick Waugh has. Patrick Waugh had this reputation back when he was a player.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
well,
a
yes.
hothead.
Yeah, but
he has no place behind the bench.
But again,
hate
though,
this kid.
he's still.
I'm sorry.
It's just like, but when you have a coach that takes you to the playoffs,
kid.
don't you want to give it a shot and say, like, okay, what happens? It doesn't work.
They
Like,
did.
All right.
They clearly Joe Sakic didn't want him.
But that's the thing, though. It's just like, but he didn't have a bad season for you to say, okay, well, he's got to go. Like, it's one thing if you have a coach that has a terrible year and just absolutely sucks, and he's still hot-headed. It's like, okay, well, he's still not worthy of keeping around. I don't care how hot-headed he is. But he's hot-headed and he gets you to the postseason. Like, okay, I fail to see where the big issue is. Like, he's hot-headed, yes, but the players were still able to get to the playoffs. So it's not like it detrimented from the play. It still resulted in them
ultimately,
going to the playoffs.
you start a season to win a cup. Just getting to the playoffs isn't good enough for some people. For
No,
Joe
I
Sakic,
get
it's not.
I get that, but the thing is, though, is that it's not like Waugh was going to guarantee you a Stanley Cup. No coach guarantees you a Stanley Cup, except maybe Mike Babcock or freaking what's
You
his
can't
name?
even really say Babcock because he's only won, one?
Joe Quenneville.
Joe Quenneville.
Joe Quenneville, you can.
Yeah, or Al Arbor or freaking what is his name?
Yeah, Al Arbor's a good one.
What?
Scotty Bowman.
Thank
Scotty
you,
Bowman.
Scotty Bowman. Thank you, Rob. I knew I was thinking that. Always has my back. All right.
What were you gonna
That's
say
why
before?
we keep you around.
You kept trying to say my name.
Oh, it's the joke. I had a little joke there. You mentioned the thing about bad decisions in reference to the Colorado Avalanche,
Yeah.
and I was going to tell you, yeah, that's usually where my life gets off the tracks upon bad decisions. But the moment passed.
Okay.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Oh man.
It's the truth, though.
All right.
Bad
So.
decisions.
All right, so they're doing the highlights right now of Washington versus Columbus in a game that was evenly contested. Oh my God, what a hit on Kempney.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh man, Kempney just ate the boards full force.
Game
and a
misconduct.
game misconduct was thrown out on that one. Woo! I don't know was it
That was boarding.
all right.
That was totally boarding.
Oh, and there's a goal scored right there
It looks
by
like
the.
TJ. Oh, no, sorry. Evgeny Kuznetsov had the first two.
Oh man, what a beauty by was that Backstrom who scored? That?
No, it was
Kuznetsov.
Kuznetsov. He had both. He had two of the.
He had two of
Two
them
of the
on
three.
29 seconds apart.
Oh, there's a nice little throw right to the front of the net and did a nice little through right
off
through
the
bound,
knees.
right up there.
Oh man, this is going to be a hell of a series.
This
It is.
is
I'm telling you, the series that
That's what I was telling you about earlier. Off. Right smack in the
man.
got him in the cheek.
Oh man!
What do you think about their decision to go with
look at the blood.
Grabauer
He's
over
trying to rip
Holtby?
out his teeth.
Well, they were trying to play
Grubauer.
the hot hand. It backfired on them tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but that's the thing though. They only lost in overtime. It's not like they lost really bad. You know, so it's just like okay.
Got a 3-1 lead though.
Well, yes, that's more on the team, though. I mean, let's be honest here. You can't. They didn't respond well. Columbus came back and got them. Jones
No,
got tripped
agreed.
big
But I'm
time.
just you down 3-1. Holtby's in there. That's probably a win.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you do. If Holtby's in there, it would have been
What
a lot
a great
better
play
team.
to keep the puck in.
But look at that, though. Columbus, though, they had quality chances, though. So it's not like Grubauer gave up a softie, at any point in the game.
No.
So I can't really – you can't diss Grubauer for this loss.
A bit of a softie there.
I don't know. That's a pretty goal right there from Panarin. He put that –
You got to put that glove up.
Yeah.
If you see him coming on
all
that angle, you got to know Panarin's going to go up glove side.
Yeah.
That's his move.
That is true.
He's opposite of Corey Perry. Corey Perry comes
First
down like
ever
that.
lead
That
in a
is true.
playoff series. Wow.
Yeah.
That is true, actually, because they did not lead the Penguins at any point, and
No.
they got swept when they faced Detroit. So, yeah.
And they've been around for
History in the making on that one. And here's a game that I would like to watch over and over again. Tampa beating New Jersey. Always lovely to watch.
Keith Kincaid in that, too.
Good. I want to see Keith Kincaid give up 5 goals. I love it.
This team is too strong. And they had Stamkos back for tonight.
Good.
Yeah,
I like it. Beat the fuck out of them Devils. Who gives a shit about them fuckers? Anyway.
Is that the Brat? No, I'm kidding. Taylor Hall scored today.
He did.
As
and,
he's been all season.
And Travis Zajac. That's a beautiful goal by Hall.
You guys do some brackets for the challenge?
I did.
I did.
Actually,
Who do you got for your winner?
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Nice.
I went with Tampa. That's who I've been saying.
That's why I brought it up. Me too.
boycotted the bracket this year because every time it gets fucking torched.
Beautiful
So
pass
I'm done
by
with
Hall.
it.
Watch
I'm
that.
done with this fucking bracket challenge shit. Every year my bracket gets fucked.
Yeah, I'm hoping mine's wrong, too. I mean, I have Winnipeg versus Tampa.
I mean,
so
clearly,
I'm hoping
I'm
it's
hoping
wrong,
I'm
but
wrong, but-
realistically,
I'd
I'm a
be okay if
realist.
my bracket's wrong and
my
Anaheim wins.
God,
I
what a
think the
goal.
Penguins can get past the Metro teams, but to play either possibly Boston or Tampa, which
It's
I
the Atlantic
think is gonna
Division. It's a
be-
tough division you got to play in
Which
the
I
playoffs.
Well,
think
yeah,
those
'cause
top
you
two
got-
teams are going to play each other in the next round.
That is true
Yeah.
because the second round's divisional, so whoever comes out of that could very easily be going to the Stanley Cup final,
Yep.
unless Pittsburgh's playing unbelievable hockey or Washington's playing unbelievable hockey.
Nashville doesn't have Carrie Underwood playing in intermission.
Well,
What happened to that?
Oh, she had stitches or something. She probably doesn't want to be seen.
God, that
What did she
organization
do?
is such a joke.
Frank and Underwood?
Yeah. What did she do? Like, what did Fisher get?
Because no,
Skate to the
man.
face.
Knee to face.
Oh.
She got high stick to practice one day. She was in the locker room. She was
That's a
running
good
the
way to
train.
call it. That's a
Yeah.
good nickname. I like that.
She was running the train. She got
High
high
stick.
sticked.
In my eye.
Oh, man. The engine of the train gave out, and she smacked her face on the side of the bench.
Oh man. So yeah.
Sorry, I don't like Nashville or Carrie Underwood.
Well, I
They
can
can run that
understand why
train
you
all
don't
day.
like Nashville. It's understandable, man. Hey, we're here for you. We're here for you,
This
bud.
is my support group here.
Yeah. Let's go, Ducks.
Let's go Ducks.
Yeah.
Fuck the Penguins.
Hey, come on, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, fuck the Penguins.
Man, then fuck the Ducks, bro. I
Fuck-
take back what I said
Hey.
last week. I'm saying Sharks and
No,
7
no,
now,
you know what?
damn it.
No, you son of a bitch. It's on record.
You know what? Hashtag it right now. Fuck this bird. Fuck this bird all the way.
What is wrong?
Yeah, we
what-
may want to reword that.
Listen, this bird is not an angry bird. It doesn't do anything
a
wrong.
piece
It
of
can't
shit. That's what
fly.
it is.
It waddles. It's harmless. I mean,
But it's on ice, so it's got an advantage because it's in the freaking Arctic. So you know what? Fuck this penguin. It's a piece of shit. Done with it.
what the fuck's a flyer anyway?
A guy
Jet flying. Limo driving.
Woo! Anyway, by the way, do check out Lazy Booking because Chrome has a great Ric Flair story. By the way, anyway,
It's completely inappropriate, which makes it great.
It is, but still awesome. With that note, I think it's time for last call. And hey, Timothy's got it going. Hashtag
quick.
fuck this bird, and he says Ducks.
Real quick,
Love
can we
you,
get in
Tim.
some predictions?
predictions?
What do you guys
for
got? I got
game
4-2
two?
Penguins game 2.
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to do it. 4-3 Flyers in overtime.
I
Go
got
it.
3-2 Flyers.
In overtime?
Nope.
All right, still, I love
Regulation.
it. All right, love it. Rob.
Let's go Ducks.
1-0 Flyers.
Oh, the return of a shutout.
Get the fuck out of here. Both defenses suck too much for a 1-0 game.
That's great. Oh, my God, that'd be hilarious.
Watch it.
I
All right.
Listen, That would be insane.
All right, guys. So that'll do it. It's time for last call. Fuck this bird. We're out. And we will see you all next Thursday. And this was brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call, 856-889-3434, or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We will see you all next week here on Thursday. And we'll see what happens after 3 games.
Let's go, Pens.
Let's go, Ducks.
Fuck the Pens. Go Flyers.